Welcome to First Global Academy. Thank you so much for taking the first initiative of getting to know more about Islamic Finance Qualification Program. In this short video clip, let me brief you about why Islamic Finance and also what you will be learning in this program. Why Islamic Finance? There are many reasons where we can list it down why you have to consider Islamic Finance. Let me brief few of those. Number one reason I can say that Islamic finance is providing solutions. In the 21st century, we have many economical problems. According to the Oxfam International, an economy for 99% report they produced in January 2017, which says that only 8 people in the world is having the half of the population's wealth combined together. That's about 3.6 billion people's wealth combined together is held by just 8 people in the world. Wealth imbalance is one of the main problem what we have, as I mentioned. So in Al-Quran it has been mentioned in chapter number 59 verse number 7 saying that the wealth needs to get out of the circle and getting circulated between the rich and poor. It should not be getting stagnated with only the rich. This is one of the way where we can narrow down the gap between the rich and poor. Islam has encouraged many ways to do this. For example, zakah, which is mandatory, sadaqah, which is voluntary, and we have waqf that is recommended for the sake of the community that we can do. Likewise, it has been mentioned about hiba, known as gift, and warasat, which is inheritance. So for example, 5 different schemes which is promoting the charitable and also distribution of wealth. The second reason why you have to consider Islamic finance, that I can say Islamic finance is always socially responsible. When I say socially responsible, anything that will harm us or our community or country at large, that business line is completely prohibited from an Islamic finance perspective. Let me name a few of the prohibited business lines. Nightclubs, casinos, phonographies, and also anything that is to deal with drugs, tobacco, alcohol, also arm production. All these nature of the business lines have been completely prohibited. On top of that, interest based banking, business, finance, leasing, all these also have been prohibited by Islamic finance. In later areas, we will be studying in detail as why interest based banking, business and finance have been prohibited completely. The third reason why you have to think about Islamic finance, that I can say Islamic finance is too big to ignore. When I say too big to ignore, it is an industry which is having the double-digit growth, and as of 2017, we have reached up to 2 to 3 trillion and expected to grow up to 8 to 10 trillion by 2020. When an industry is growing, we cannot ignore and we have to accommodate those industries. So in that nature, Islamic finance have been accommodated by many countries in the world. When I say many countries, if you take for example UK is having a Muslim minority population, whereas we have more than 5 fully fledged Islamic banks and also more than 80 Islamic finance education providers. So likewise, you take Thailand for example. In Thailand, we have 95% of the people, those who are following Buddhism. But still, they do have an Islamic bank which has been incorporated by the government of Thailand. You name any of the countries in the world, whether it's a Muslim majority country or Muslim minority country, irrespective of the religion, they are considering or they are accommodating, or in another word I can say they are changing their banking law and incorporating the Islamic banking forte into their banking system. Let me quickly brief the 3 reasons which I have been talking about why you have to consider Islamic finance. Number 1, I said it is providing the solution for the world economical problem what we are facing in the 21st century. Second one, which I have been talking about, is Islamic finance is socially responsible when it comes to the business activities or banking activities. When I say socially responsible, we are considering ethically, morally and also socially binding transactions which will have a positive impact to the people. The third reason which I have been talking about, that Islamic finance is growing at a rate where it has become so big that you can't ignore anymore. Now let me take you to the next part of this video clip, that is what you will be learning in this program. Islamic Finance Qualification, which is offered by the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investments, London. In this particular program, we will be having 9 different chapters. So let me brief you all 9 chapters as what are the areas we will be talking about. Chapter number 1, the basis of Islamic banking and finance. In this chapter, we will be talking about what is Islamic banking and finance, how Islam is getting connected with banking and finance. Further, we will be studying about the general features of Islamic economy, and what is Sharia, how Sharia has been derived, and what is Sharia Supervisory Board, and the role and responsibilities of Sharia Supervisory Board. Chapter number 2, an introduction to Islamic banking and finance. In this chapter, we will be talking about what is the history of Islamic banking and finance, what are the functions of an Islamic bank, what are the different operational structures we have in order to offer the Islamic banking and financial services, and also we'll be talking about the standard setting bodies and other supporting organizations for this industry. Chapter number 3, we will be talking about the Islamic principles of exchange. In order to have an exchange or business contract, what are the prohibitions which we should be avoiding, and also what are the characteristics which you have to incorporate in a business exchange? That is the entire chapter is all about. Chapter number 4 is all about the basic contracts and their treatment. So first part, we will be analyzing how the contract should be, and the second part of the chapter number 4 we will be analyzing as how do we do the accounting treatment for those contracts, including how do we calculate zakah for the Islamic banks. Chapter number 5 is financial contracts and techniques applied by Islamic banks. I can say that we will be discussing more related to the Islamic retail banking products such as Mularaba, Musharaka, Murabaha, Ijara, Salam, Istisna, LC and LG, or known as the trade finance, and also we'll be discussing regarding the current account. So this is a chapter, it's all about the banking, especially with regard to the retail banking operations. Chapter number 6 is all about Islamic asset management. When we say Islamic asset management, we will be mainly discussing regarding how do we have an Islamic fund, how do we manage an Islamic fund, how do we invest in an equity fund, and what is the mechanism for whitelisting process in the stock exchange. So these are the main areas of chapter number 6. Chapter number 7 is Sukuk market. When we say Sukuk market, which is normally translated as Islamic bond. So here we will be discussing how do we structure the Islamic bond in order to cater different needs of mega infrastructure economical projects and also the assets to be acquired. So here we will be discussing mainly 7 different types of Sukuk. How do we structure, what are the characteristics, how it works in real terms by doing some case studies, inshallah. Chapter number 8, we will be discussing regarding Islamic insurance known as Takaful. Here we will be discussing why we need an Islamic insurance, how it is getting differed from the conventional insurance, and also we will be discussing the similarities between the Islamic insurance and mutual insurance. Further, we discuss on different models and the issues related to the Islamic insurance in this particular chapter. Chapter number 9, which is the last chapter of this particular program, we will be discussing regarding Islamic corporate governance. In this chapter, we will be talking mainly regarding how do we govern, supervise or monitor the Islamic banks in different aspects, including the board of directors structure to the customers, especially for the investors, how do we protect their interest. I hope this particular small video clip could have been helpful for you in order to understand why you have to consider Islamic finance. By enrolling for this program, what you will be learning. Register now for the IFQ online program offered by First Global Academy, and looking forward to see you in the enrolled program. Thank you so much.